Welcome to Cork in the North, not Cock in the North as some people thought it was. Do you believe that? I did a gig and people were saying, Darren, that I put into Spotify Cock in the North. I was like, do you really think I would name a podcast called Cock in the North?
You told people you wouldn't tell them that I had asked you, is it Cock in the North? You promised me you wouldn't say it on the podcast.
Sick of it, man. I know. Back this week, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for liking, sharing, subscribing, doing what you do to get this podcast off the ground and my tax bill paid for next year. So, appreciate everybody that's been liking, sharing and subscribing. Some great feedback we've been getting. Unbelievable feedback. People have been saying, please stop doing this. Why are you annoying me? You know, so keep that kind of energy coming towards us because this is what we're all about. Isn't that right, Darren? Darren's back for a second time.
Hi, everybody.
Darren is the second person that's been back for a second time. Great feedback on you, Darren.
That's good.
People are like, get that Fenian on again. Want to send in loads of abuse.
Is it because I look like one?
Well, you look like one.
I'm not really a proper Fenian anyway.
I know.
Yeah, because that was obviously a historical organisation that hasn't existed since the 19th century. Doesn't matter.
Hey, we'll move on.
Yeah.
We'll move on. Anyway.
I can't believe you're paying tax. Anyway, move on from that too.
We don't talk about that. Can we cut that bit out?
Can we edit that?
Darren, thanks very much. Now, the best thing about it is that it's Tuesday morning and you're on your break from work. So you're on a split. So what do you do? I think this is the best job ever. What do you do?
I can't tell you the name of the company, but I drive a bus.
You drive a bus?
I drive a big bus.
TransLink. I imagine it's TransLink.
Oh, you said it, I didn't, so that should be fine.
Yeah, so I imagine you work for the public.
I was going to say I work for the national carrier.
The national.
Is that what you said?
Do you know what? I saw something on the internet the other day that was really funny. There was a guy, he's a bus driver in London, and he said whenever he's having a bad day driving, what he does is he looks in his rear view mirror and he looks at the passengers in the mirror and he goes, you're all dickheads, aren't you? Then he taps the brake twice so they all nod. Have you ever done that?
No, I haven't done anything that would endanger the safety of my passengers.
TransLink employee here, soon to be on garden leave. Darren, do you get a lot of shit driving a bus?
No, because the bus I'm in, people have to prepay their tickets, so I'm in a little.
Are you moving OAPs?
No, I'm just there's nobody. In a normal bus where the door opens and you meet the driver. Yeah. I'm in a little cabin. I drive a special bus.
Why?
It's not a special.
Are you
bus.
On a public route?
Yeah.
So you're driving like people shopping and kids and all that?
Yeah, I only go east to west.
You only go east to west, right? So, but they don't speak to you? They
don't speak to me.
You have no communication with them at all?
I have no communication with them.
Do you get no hassle, no abuse?
No, not usually.
You've not had any abuse yet?
No, a little kid up in West Belfast called me a fucking handicap. Which I haven't been called since about 1997 when I was in school, so that was impressive.
Well, what time's your next? Because I feel like you need a bit of abuse. I think we would all turn up and just start shouting abuse at you.
No, I'll tell you that wee story. So basically, I was going to be my last run of the night. So what happens is you drop off the last stop basically, and you go, right, folks, everybody off. That's me. And then you go back down the motorway to go back to base. But I got to the last stop and said, that's everybody off. And the wee guy was like, you're not fucking going back into town, no? And I was like, no, mate, I'm heading home. I got to go back to the motorway. And he was like, why is it say out in the front then? You're a fucking handicap. And I says, I just want to point out, you shouldn't be saying stuff like that. I says, that's inappropriate. And I says, and also, people that are handicapped can read. And I get off the fucking bus. So, I feel long term, he learned something, but not to read. But
wow.
Yeah.
That's insane. That is brilliant.
Like I'm doing heckle put downs and I'm not even on stage.
I know, yeah. You know? But you know what? I just couldn't do it. Like if I was driving a bus and someone gave me abuse, I'd stop. I'd have a 7-iron next to me in the front of the bus, and I'm like sitting there like gripping the 7-iron, going, I tell you something, someone's going to get a hook of this 7-iron, like, because the older I'm getting, the least I'm not as tolerant as I used to be about the general public anymore. And there's a problem out there. There's a problem out there with people, and they have no self-awareness anymore. You know.
Would you not go for a wedge to get maximum height on
No, closed club face, maximum impact on a 7-iron.
That's what you want.
Oh,
a good flat.
You're
slap.
talking broken collarbone, and if he doesn't break the collarbone, take out the 2-iron,
finish him off,
send him to fucking Madagascar, mate. That's what you do.
Yeah, putter in the.
I don't know why I just said Madagascar there. I don't know what that means.
I'd love to go to Madagascar. It's far away.
So you're driving a bus. So how long have you been driving the buses then?
I started doing that in the pandemic, whenever I thought gigs were never going to happen again.
So like, I'd love to know what the interview is like for. What's the interview like for driving a bus?
The interview is, well, first of all, there's aptitude tests. So
Attitude.
Aptitude.
Oh, right.
I think the interview is the attitude test.
Well, when I was 18 years of age, I applied to go into the fire brigade.
Okay.
And I went to do the aptitude test. And that was as far as I got.
Yeah.
in the whole process.
Well, that's what it is. So you do your aptitude test first, and it's, sort of mental arithmetic. Because obviously you're counting money and you got to be quick for doing all that. And then I obviously didn't know that the bus I was going to be on didn't have to do any of that. So all of that, you do that, then you do your interview, and then it's 3 months training, and then you get your test. You have to do your driving test again, but in a bus.
But are you getting paid for the training?
Yeah.
Yeah. And what's the questions they're asking you in the driving test? Like, so you're like, what is it? Like you're at a red light and it goes green. What do you do?
No,
you
do a couple. So
put the foot down and fucking go.
You can't put the foot down. It's a diesel hybrid, so it doesn't exactly.
It's really slow.
Fly.
Right.
But you don't want it to fly. It's a public transport. What you do is, so what's your interview? You do a couple of exams. There is one where you have to. One of the funny ones is there's like different levels of your test. So like your level 4 says you're actually driving with an instructor, and he's marking you that you're not, taking out cyclists and getting people with a mirror as you go around a corner, that kind of stuff.
Yeah,
but
that must be quite scary though, like going around corners and stuff, because you've cyclists and people trying to cut and all that.
The bus that I drive as well bends in the middle. It can hold up to 108 people. So when you turn, the engineering says that when you turn, the rear should follow the front. But sometimes when you're going like turning into the city centre, you're turning in and that kind of stuff.
Have you ever hit anyone?
Yes, actually.
You have?
Not like knocked them down. A guy got off at one of the halts, and I went to take off again, and he went to walk in between like my bus and a tree. So instead of going this side of the tree where the entire footpath was, he decided he'd squeeze past with a foot
by going out on the road again.
By going out on the road again. So when I swung out, he had his headphones in, and I dinged him on the back of the head and knocked his headphones off.
What did he say?
He said nothing because he knew it was his fucking fault.
Yeah,
I stopped and was like, "You all right?" And he was like, "Oh yeah, mate, sorry about that." Like he apologised to me, and I was like, "I'm losing my job. This is it. I've only been in this job 4 months. I'm getting fucking sacked."
I respect that, man.
Yeah,
because some people now you're looking at it, I can't walk. I'm depressed for 20 years. It's killed my life. And
this is the whole thing. There was a bus burned out last year, and everyone was like, "Oh my god, that's terrible." And I was thinking, I would love if somebody could burn my bus. That'd be great.
Because you'd get time off for stress there. Because do you know the London tube drivers? If 3 people
full pension.
If 3 people kill themselves on the line that you're working in, you get full pension. There was a film made about it as well.
Yes.
This guy had 2 people die on his line, and they were like going to pay someone to kill themselves. So therefore, this is really dark, but they paid themselves, so you might get full pension.
Weird comedy content.
Content, yeah. That's mental. I remember when I was in school in Cork, we used to go to this place in Cork, just off Bridge Street, which is called the Victoria Sporting Club, and we used to finish school at 3:20. I went to the Christian Brothers, and we used to go down there and play pool and snooker and play like computer games and stuff like that, because my bus home wasn't until 4:10.
Okay.
So I used to leave for school in the morning at 7:45, but I wouldn't get home till 5. Yeah, it was a long
Were you working in the school?
No, like that was the commute. Like
I do admin.
That was the commute. Like because of the traffic in Cork at the time. But anyway, I remember once we were leaving the Victoria Sporting Club to actually go over the bridge and down Merchants Quay to get the bus. One of the lads we were with just walked out on the road and got hit by a car and went up onto the bonnet, fell off the bonnet, got up, picked up his bag and just continued walking. Because he was like, well, it wasn't my fault. So the poor woman driving the car was like in shock, and he just went, I'm all right.
Was your mate the Terminator?
No, like he came into school the following day. We were like, he was bruised like down one side of his body and stuff. But he was like, well, there was no point. Just got hit by a car.
No worse than you getting a hurling match.
And I just went, you know what? These are the people I respect. The people that can make mistakes, take the consequence of that action, and get on with their life.
Yeah.
I remember I was watching RTE News, right? And there was a flight from Cork Airport to Portugal delayed 6 hours. And that was on the news, right? Talk about slow news day.
That's
right?
a Radio Television Iron for our northern
for,
neighbours.
Yeah, RTE. You can get up here without paying the licence anyway, but...
You can.
RTE went to Cork Airport to interview the passengers who were going on holiday and delayed for 7 hours. And if you're delayed by over like a couple of hours, the airline has to give us some money. I think they were going with Ryanair, and Ryanair gave them like a €5 voucher. And they were like, oh, we've been delayed 7 hours and Ryanair have given us a €5 voucher. That's not even enough for a sandwich and a water. I'm like, you're going on holiday.
Yeah.
Do you not have money for your holiday?
Have you savings? Have you a Revolut card with you?
Were you not going to spend money on holiday? So you're telling me you can't afford a water? Like, you were going on a 2-week holiday. You surely have spends for the holiday, and yet you're complaining you can't afford anything in the airport on the way to the fucking holiday.
I enjoy that flight was delayed so long. Somebody had time to get in a van in Dublin and drive the little camera van down to Cork.
We've Cork RT as well, man.
Oh, you have a Cork RT? Wait, do you know there's an RT in
Pascal
Belfast?
Sheehy does all the court cases and
Does
everything. Yeah, Pascal Sheehy. A man has been convicted today of murder, and then it's two days later and he's over in old people's home that someone's stealing the lock off a latch or something.
Is he like the local correspondent?
Pascal Sheehy, yeah, he's been around for years. He's like a household. Everyone knows Pascal. Like,
is this like whenever fucking Marty Morrissey does the gas, that kind of stuff? But he's
but Pascal's the southern reporter of the south of Ireland. He's the southern of the south.
So is he Cork only or anywhere in Munster?
I think he's more Cork actually. He might nip into Kerry sometimes. He might go over enemy lines.
Is there a separate guy in Tipperary?
Do you know? Be honest with you, whatever Tipperary comes on the news anyway, just turn the fucking thing off. I was, here we go. Here's news from the 60s. Best thing about Tipperary was that motorway.
Yeah, straight through.
Fucking through Cashel.
Yeah.
So just straight. Beautiful scenery driving through Tipperary.
That's good, because most of the motorways in Ireland just go through the dreariest. It's probably because most of the motorways I'm on I'm always going to Galway, and the Midlands
that's a shit drive.
is barren.
It's a shit drive.
It's just flat.
But Dublin to Cork, you know what you should do one day? You know, have you seen the film Falling Down?
Yes.
You should have, when you have like a bad day at work, just lock them up in the bus, man.
Think so?
Lock them up in the bus and say, you're not going home tonight, we're going to Cork. And just drive from Belfast to Cork. That scene in Young Offenders, when he kidnaps the bus?
Yes.
Billy Murphy kidnaps the bus. Just drive it, man. And I'm telling you, you will be famous.
I should point out...
Lock the bus, and they're all going, where are we going now, Paul? You're going, we're going to Cork.
There's no point saying that to people in Belfast. They don't know where Cork is.
They do, man.
Think so?
The people in Northern Ireland are very well educated on stuff that they only know.
Think we're tuned in?
Well, you're okay, but the drive from Dublin to Cork is a fabulous drive. It's about £8 or something on the tolls.
Okay.
But if you get it on a lovely day, it's about 2 hours 20 minutes to Cork. If you're doing 120 kilometres, which is the speed limit.
Tell me this: toll roads. Do you not have road tax in the south?
We have road tax and we have toll roads. Yeah.
You're paying both?
Yeah.
What the fuck is that?
It's a beautiful road.
You pay one and then that's included?
No. You know what, Darren? This is why we don't want you part of United Ireland, because it's this attitude. We're sick of you. Do you know what?
Yeah, because we want the 32 county socialist republic, and you're a bunch of dirty capitalists there.
Right, this is taking a bit of a turn.
Yeah,
right?
come on.
Hold on a second. We pay road tax in the south.
Get my history book.
And we also have an amazing road. Do you know the drive from Cork to Dublin when I was a kid was about 4 hours?
I would have
drive now is 2 hours 20, and we pay for that now. We got funded by the European Union for that motorway from Dublin to Cork. It also, it's a fabulous road, and they're now working on a Cork-Limerick motorway, I think.
Why?
I don't know.
You hate each other?
No, but like going to Limerick is a bit of a ball ache, because you have to go up through Mallow and all the other fucking...
Is this strictly so rugby fans can go to Thomond Park?
Exactly, yeah, but they are improving. I do think Cork to Galway should have a much better motorway.
Gotcha.
And they should link it up like a little triangle. Cork,
a loop right
Galway, Dublin, Cork, Galway, and then a loop up to Donegal, and then across to Derry, and then down to Belfast, and that links the whole country up then.
They have that in Australia. There's one road that goes right round the outside. It's the same motorway.
Yeah, so just does it like the M25 in London. Just a big loop.
But we have it in Ireland, and it'll just be the whole fucking place.
Yeah, I think it would be great, man.
Yeah.
But we have tolls down south, but you can buy the little toll tag. Yes. I think it's like €1.80 or €1.90.
And it beeps when you go through.
And it beeps when you go through. But also, if you go through if you ever drive through Dublin and go under the tunnel.
Yes.
That like if you go under that tunnel in peak time, I think it's like €10.
It's a tenner.
Even Sean, the producer's furious about it.
Yeah, I would do that if we were going to
But
Crow
if you
Park.
go through off-peak time, it's €3.
Yeah, I've done that coming home at night, because I used to DJ in the Ambassador. Not the Ambassador, that's closed. The Academy.
Yeah.
I used to DJ in there, and then I'd drive up home. When I was living in Newry, and it's €3, and then you're home in an hour. It's great.
Great road.
Yeah, I worked in...
So why are you complaining about it?
I'm not complaining about it.
You're complaining about the tax and then the toll roads.
No, because I wasn't driving, so I wasn't paying fuck all.
Oh, right, okay, fair enough, yeah. Fair enough.
No, I do remember, because the old way when we used to go to Crow Park for football was you'd leave Newry and you had to go through Drogheda, and there was one set of traffic lights. There was one set of traffic lights and at the McDonald's, and there'd be a tail back in the dock, and you're like, "Oh, are we in Drogheda yet?" No, we're fucking not.
I have a cousin of mine. He's
4 hours.
I have a cousin of mine. He's living in Drogheda while he's building a house. And I was playing golf with him recently, and I went to him, "Well, how's Drogheda?" And he just looked at me and he went. He just raised his eyes up and he just deep breath, and I went temporary, and he went very temporary.
I did a gig in Drogheda and lost the crowd apart from the people that weren't from Drogheda.
Were you driving the bus with the crowd on the bus? Is that what you were doing?
I wasn't. My bus only goes 45 miles an hour. It would take days to get to Drogheda.
It's only 45 miles an hour?
Well, you can't go anywhere faster than 30 in Belfast anyway. So
really?
No, you're not supposed to. But the Drogheda thing, I did a gig down there and I basically went, you know the way Oliver Cromwell wrecked Drogheda? And everyone went, yeah. I went, why didn't you fix it after? And fucking hell.
Are you serious?
Yeah. I mean...
That's a great joke.
The 9 people from Dublin were well into it, and the 4 people from Meath who lived in Drogheda.
Yeah, but the 9 people from Dublin couldn't afford to buy a house in Dublin.
That's
so
why they're
living
Drogheda. Yeah. Yeah, I worked on building sites in Meath with my brother, and you get that where you'd be like... people would be talking, and they'd obviously maybe moved out of Dublin and had their kids out there, but their kids still sound dub, even though you're in up near Navan. And they'd be like, I'm from Meath. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
Meath. Give me a TH there, lads. Meath.
My auntie lives in Manchester. She's Irish and her kids are English. What a dynamic. You know, she'd be like, well, no, do you want a cup of tea or something like that? And her kids are like, oh, how are you doing? You all right? And I'm like, whoa, this isn't working. This is weird.
Here's the thing. I have cousins in Sheffield and they have full English accents but use Irish words.
Really?
Yeah. So my cousin's like, what's the crack? I'm like, that's weird.
Oh, that's
fucking weird.
That's like a second invasion.
Yeah.
Isn't it? That's like, oh, whoa, yeah, you didn't
Don't be taking our stuff twice.
Don't be taking us now you're taking the piss. You know what I mean? Like, hey, dude, mate, you're all right. I was out with a facky. It was ground, mate. It was ground. No, it's grand. It's not grand. It's grand.
Yeah. Grande is a size of coffee and stuff.
I remember I was doing a gig once in Cheshire in England, and I used to do this Manc accent on stage as a joke, right? I used to be like, yeah, all right, mate, you're going to go see United City tomorrow, mate. What you saying, mate? You bastard. See the kids at the weekends.
That's a bang on Terry Christian.
Right? And I continued the show in my Irish accent, and I was doing this thing, and at the end of the gig, this guy comes up to me, and he went, he goes to me, you're a great character actor. I went, what do you mean? He goes, well, you're obviously from Manchester, but you put on the Irish accent. I went, no, I'm from Ireland and I was putting on the fucking Manchester accent.
Actually?
And he genuinely thought that I was, like, not Irish. He was like, you're not really Irish, are you? And I was like, what fucking part of my whole act where I talk about growing up in Cork? I even offered him to sell them Irish passports because of Brexit. And I'm doing all this, and he's still sitting there going, no, definitely not Irish. I mean, reality comes up and kicks him in the face.
Are you Daniel Day-Lewis? I become the part.
Oh, mate.
Method acting.
Some of them are just...
I lived in Cork for 15 years so I could do the fucking accent.
Oh, like, it's just...
Shut up.
It's absolutely crazy. I was in... when I was in Portugal playing golf with a load of lovely lads from Dublin, Kildare area, I was playing golf with one fella on the first day, and Jamie, lovely guy, and he thought I was from Dublin. So, like, I'd be chatting away to him.
Did you
for like
slap him around the place?
No, he was like, you're a dub, are you? And I'm looking at him going, are you fucking mental? What part of Cork tattooed on my forehead and my Cork golf top means that I'm from Dublin?
Do you have a wee Cork golf top?
I have Cork. I've got.
Is it a wee badge?
This one is Castle Rock up from the North Coast.
Gotcha.
I was up there recently. If you've not been to Castle Rock Golf Course, I highly recommend go up there. It's a great spot.
It's very nice.
Beautiful part of the world in the North Coast, isn't it?
Yeah. Have you not been up there before?
I've been up to Port Rush and I've driven around. I've only played golf up there. I've not actually had a holiday.
You've gone around the Glens?
Do I look like the kind of guy that goes around Glens?
It's gorgeous.
What is it?
Well, Glen Row, you'd know
what
that
is
one.
the Glens?
The Glens of Antrim.
What is that? A field or something?
No,
or
it's loads of fields.
So is it a driving spot?
It's where all the Ulster Scots live, and then hurlers.
Fuck them.
No,
Fuck
listen to me. But then it's full of hurlers as well.
No, give me Ulster Scots shit. I was
right.
watching the news last night.
Yeah.
It's coming in as a national language now, isn't there, something?
Is it?
Do you know any Ulster Scots words?
Yeah, loads of them.
Give me
use
one.
them. Well, you know the way people in Belfast say aye?
Yeah.
That's Ulster Scots.
Really?
Aye's from fucking Scotland. Aye.
Is it?
Yeah.
There you are now.
Do you ever see when it's teeming with rain?
What is this?
Teeming?
No, I call it pissing with rain.
Yeah, well, that's just rude. So teeming is Ulster Scots as well.
Well, so teeming is an Ulster Scots phrase.
Yeah.
Well, there you are now.
When somebody's busy up on the north coast, they would say they're up to their oxters, which is your armpits.
Well, if in Cork you'd say you're up the walls.
Yeah, flat out.
That's Cork Irish.
Yeah.
Irish.
But there's loads of that. There's ones that I'm not sure what they are, but we would use at home, like foundered.
Foundered?
If you're cold.
If
you use foundered? No, boys? Not a Belfast one?
No, I use foundered.
There you go, foundered.
I'd never use... If I was cold at home, I'd just go, I'm cold.
Or, well, cowl as well.
No, I'd just be like, put the heat. Now, Jesus, if you've seen the price of it, don't put it on.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Well, see, here's the other thing, because how many years were you in England before you were here in the north?
16 long fucking years. Loved it though. Really nice people.
How much did your accent soften in 16?
I would say I have a very generic Irish accent.
You're easy to understand.
Yeah, whereas when I go to Cork, I normally spend about maybe 3 to 4 days there, depending on what I'm doing on there. And by the time I'm leaving,
I get more raw when I'm home.
I'm hanging around like, my buddy, and I'd be in the pub, and if I go to the pub with my mates and you're around, all right, Andrew, man, you're back. What are you doing living up the north, boy? They're all fucking wackos up there, boy. I'd never vote for them at all, boy. I don't want them part of that shit at all. Because I was up there once. The fuck were the Protestants like up there now?
You're just doing a Chris Kent impression.
No, well, to see, Chris is real Cork. Like.
Chris is full Cork.
Yeah, Chris is great, but like he's also doing Vicar Street this Friday in Dublin if you're looking to go see him. But then I kind of slipped back in. But you know what? You know when I was taking the mickey out of the English having using Irish words, there is a thing where I do use some English words. English, like, so I say mate a lot.
That fits in with Belfast though.
Yeah, but I say mate, like, so I'll be down in Cork and people are like, all right, Andrew boy, how's it going, fella? They say fella. I'm like, all right, man. I'll be like, all right, mate. That's a real English thing, mate.
Okay.
So I have kind of taken, or I say, you all right, mate? You all right? You all right, mate? You all right, mate? Whereas now I say, because I've lived in England, I've picked up a little bit of that.
Okay.
And I've had a few people of mine like say to me, oh, you sound very anglicised. And I'm like, you're wearing a Liverpool top.
Yeah. Let's get off the high horse here.
While you're criticising me.
Yeah.
I went there for the work.
As did everybody's fucking 18
go there for the
uncles.
work. Because people like you don't support the arts in Cork. Why is there only one comedy club in Cork and there's 3 universities? It's not right. Me should be able to live in Cork and make a living making people laugh.
But you can't afford a house down there.
I can't afford a house down there. I'm up here living with the Presbyterians out in East Belfast.
Oh, you're doing all right so far.
They're grand, man. They're lovely. They're lovely little things.
You're okay.
They won't exist for much longer.
Something I would like to explain for anybody watching this podcast that isn't from here. You're fine. You can come here and visit. There's no issue whatsoever.
No issue.
Doesn't matter what country you're from. It's each other we fucking hate.
Yeah.
But you have to be from here and in the place. Then you've got hatred. You guys are fine.
Yeah.
Come and see us.
Yeah, come see Darren.
Turn up your fucking accent.
Yeah.
Come on in. You got
Spend
money?
your money.
You got money? Come on,
Spend your money.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Do you know what I love doing? I don't know if I've said this on the podcast before, but driving up the Falls Road to this podcast, you see all the taxi tours on the left.
Yes.
Just love shouting abuse at them. Get out of our country!
Yeah. Go back where you came from.
Go back! There was a fucking load of them up. I'm swearing a lot today, I don't know why. There was a load of them.
I'm trying to keep things clean here.
There was a load of them up the left-hand side today. And they're all standing there looking at pictures of, like, I don't know, whoever's up on the wall this week, Padre Pio or something, I don't know, whoever's up, like Billy Murphy that fucking shot a man and now he lost a fucking thumb. I don't know what's up there now, but they're all the taxi guys are just. My brother was on a taxi tour 2 weeks ago. Here, right? Because he came up to stay in the house for the weekend because I was away. And I said to him, how'd you get on in Belfast? He said, we got a taxi tour. And I was, how was it? And he went, he said, it was great. He says, I knew a lot of the history anyway. He says, but it was nice to see, it was nice to get a bit of a local. He goes, we got a fella from Ardoyne. He was our driver. And I was like, all right, how was he? He was great. He was really, really
real
good.
fair, real down the middle, right. Told both sides.
And then I said to him, he said, yeah, but at the end of the taxi then, I must say, we figured out which side of the fence he was on because he told me that he hated the Brits.
Fair enough.
I was just like, farewell, there you go now.
Not even that, or much more obscure, but I was in Thailand.
Yeah.
And it was the day before Paddy's Day, and the Gaelic teams in Thailand have a drinks reception that the Irish ambassador to Thailand comes to every year.
Brilliant.
It's in this lovely hotel, but I'm at the Irish ambassador.
Not the Bangkok Hilton.
No, that's if you get caught fucking doing drugs. And I met the guy, and so this is like the official, the Irish ambassador to Thailand. I'm not sure if he still is, and I hope he's not. If somebody fucking sends him this, and he was like, one of the boys says, "Oh, this is Darren. Darren's he's actually only over visiting. He's doing a gig here today, and then he's in Singapore tomorrow." And I was like, "Lovely to meet you, boy." And I was like, "Thanks very much." He was like, "Where are you from yourself?" And I went, "I'm from South Armagh." He goes, "One of ours then." He just turned and left, and I was like, "All right."
Jesus, that's amazing.
I got profiled.
Where was he? Like Kerry or Cork? Or
Yeah. I think he was fucking like full on into the fucking ocean of Kerry.
How
you know
do
what
you
I mean?
get a job as an ambassador for another? Like, did you see what happened in the news in South
Ferrero
yesterday?
Rocher. You bring Ferrero Rocher.
Did you see what happened in the news yesterday down the Russian embassy in Dublin?
Oh, somebody crashed a truck.
A guy reversed the truck through the gates of the Russian embassy because obviously what's been happening over in Ukraine. And
Yeah.
he comes out and everyone's like, yeah, well done. And then it came out that this guy that reversed the truck in is, I think, has been arrested. I'm not too sure now, but has had incidents in the past where he protests against asylum seekers.
Grand.
And you just think to yourself, like, look, obviously what's happening in the world is is horrible, but like, how do you become an ambassador? Like, I'd love to be like the ambassador for like fucking.
Well, that guy's not going to get the job. as
No,
ambassador.
I'd love to be like the ambassador for Ghana. You know,
Yeah,
like somewhere
just hanging out.
like North. I'd love to be the ambassador for like Iceland or something.
Yeah.
Somewhere where, you know, small population, just fucking have great crack.
See, I wonder, do we have an ambassador everywhere? Because I know when I was travelling, I have both passports. Because when I was 18 and I wanted to go on holiday, the British passport was cheaper. But this is the Good Friday Agreement thing. You can hold two passports.
Yeah.
So what I used to do was I would travel everywhere with my Irish passport, British passport in the bag underneath the. You know, I used to travel with my football bag. You know, the hard lining. Put it in there because people love the Irish everywhere in the world you go. But because the Brits used to own the world, if you get in trouble, you can always go to a British embassy.
Oh yeah. That's good, isn't it?
Because people are like, what are you doing that for? I'm like, there has to be some advantage to being from this fucking place.
Yeah, exactly.
And if that's it, that's fine. And if I get lifted like some sort of James Bond fucking two passports.
But they not think that's suspicious that you have two identities then? That you
No,
have
'cause
fraudulent passports?
Once you explain it, I'm just like, lads, Google it. And then they're like, oh yeah, you can.
Yeah,
That's fine.
Yeah. I'd love to be the ambassador for Colombia.
Why?
Be off me head.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll be just throwing St. Patrick's Day parties for a year.
If you want to go have a good St. Paddy's Day in South America, go to Argentina.
Is that good?
Yeah, it's supposed to be like the fourth or fifth biggest in the world.
Yeah, I've a lot of family that emigrated to Argentina. There's a lot of Ryans in Argentina, apparently.
Right.
Yeah, there's people walking around. Mario Gonzalo, Ryan. You know, something like that. Like
The dude that sponsors our hurling team.
Diego Ryan.
The guy that sponsors our hurling team was born in Argentina.
Was he?
Yeah, Pedro.
Pedro. Of course he's called Pedro.
But I think people think it's like his nickname because he's lived in Belfast since he was like 2.
But that's the guy from the Sunflower.
Yeah, so he's fully Belfast, but people are just like, oh, you know, that's how Pedro, you know. It's like down home, somebody like if their name was Dennis, they'd be called Dinny.
Dinny, oh yeah.
Yeah, Dinny or like, you know, like Paggio or something like that. But this guy is called Pedro and people are like, it's not your real name, is it? He goes, no, it is, yeah. He's like, I was born in Buenos Aires.
That's mental. Man, how do you go from Buenos Aires to Belfast? So I want to go and improve my life.
Lose a bet.
Where are you going? Rome, London, New York? No, Belfast.
Look, how many Irish people have done that when they move abroad, have the kids and then bring them back?
Yeah.
But at least the kids have the passports. That's a big deal. I would say that to people.
Yeah.
Have your kids somewhere else.
Yeah.
Give them a chance, for fuck's sake.
Yeah. But I think if you could be an ambassador for which country, which would you be? I think Colombia, purely because like you'd be, you know,
Colombia's too
some
obvious.
crack in Colombia. Like if you got protection off the state,
Yeah.
and think of the parties you'd have.
I would go somewhere, if you're going to do that, and I don't do drugs, but if it was affordable and maybe free.
I don't do drugs either.
But let's give it a blast. Do that. Go to like Belize or Honduras or something. Somewhere like a wee bit fucking wild.
Really?
Yeah. Central America.
You've done all those countries though.
No, I haven't. I've done
those?
Southeast Asia. South America is the last continent I have to get to.
Take your bus over, mate. 45 miles an hour picking up.
I don't know if the roads would be fit for that.
Yeah.
And although, you know what, that's maybe just a stereotype I'm thinking of, or I'm just thinking of like, you know, like fucking communist guerrillas running around the jungle.
But you know what? If anything I've learned, like when you think of those places like South America, and you know you watch all your stuff on Netflix as you usually do, you know it's all corruption and drugs and all people trafficking and all
Class.
that. We live in like such a good part of the world for safety, and I know it sounds really crazy, but like everything that's going on in the world, but you think about it, it's like thank God live here because you know all the issues in Africa. You know, China, Russia, Ukraine, all that. Then you've poverty and drugs in South America. You know, like even you know, like Europe, parts of Asia, like Japan and all that, like seems to be quite solid in terms. I mean, not at the moment, but like, I'm so happy that I live in Ireland. Like, we just fucking. It's so. I mean, Northern Ireland issues. You take that any day of the week just to.
Yeah.
Not that you would take that any day of the week. My point is that like compared to other places, this place is an absolute fucking dream.
I will happily live on the rain shield of Europe if there's no venomous animals and no earthquakes. That's fine.
Have you ever
There's no
been
natural fucking disasters here.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, like I mean, like I noticed that the weather in Northern Ireland this winter was the fourth hottest winter on record.
And people say global warming's bad.
Yeah, it was a great winter here. A sentence I never thought I'd ever say. It was a great winter.
Yeah.
It only went to -2 once.
That is actually, yeah, because normally there's a few days where it just drops, it's -8. You're
Yeah.
like, fucking hell.
I was cutting the grass the other day, I had shorts on. Even my neighbour was like, Andrew, will you put the legs away? I was like, go back inside, you Presbyterian bastard.
Yeah, he's like, mate, you milky white bastard, put them away.
He's a lovely fella, though. But I woke up this morning, and going off topic today, I woke up this morning, there was a fucker parked over me drive. What do you do in that scenario?
What, could you see him?
He was on the edge now. So my car's in my
Was
driveway.
he visually
My car's in the
already
drive.
parked and fucked off?
My car's in the drive, right, and he comes right up to the line. Now, my neighbours park over me, which I love because they're my neighbours and they're lovely people. So I'd rather they park there because they're my neighbours, right? So,
And you know where they live, so you can go, can you...
Well, they don't need to move it because it's a public road, so you can park wherever you want.
Get round them.
But you know, because I live near the airport, I'd be worried that people would be coming into the estate, parking the cars there.
And then go on the holidays.
Going on the holidays. Now, but luckily, Belfast City Airport don't have a lot of holiday destination flights. You know, it's all like just made on, you know. So I thought, oh, who's this car? Because it's such a quiet area. Like, I'm one of these neighbours now, like, you know, I know the cars of each drive now. Like, I'm like, oh, there's a new visitor over there now. What's going on there now? They probably said the same thing about me, but what do you do in that scenario? It's a public road, isn't it? You just have to let them.
You just leave a note.
Well, I wouldn't leave. I'm not on note stage yet. I'm not in my 50s yet.
No, I mean like on the car of his door with a key.
No, I wouldn't do that because you know it's going to be me.
Well, you don't have to sign.
The last thing I want is paramilitaries turn up at midnight going, you 24 hours, get out.
You don't know he's a paramilitary. That's a negative stereotype.
How do you know he's not?
Stereotype.
How do you know he's not? He's just a BMW. He's a drug dealer.
I mean, there's like 1.9 million people in the north.
And 1.8 million are in paramilitaries.
That's not true.
Okay.
It's only, I mean, maximum 10%. I mean, that's only what, a couple of 100,000? Actually, yeah, that's pretty.
I love how Darren's just funny. Actually, it's 1 in 4.
Yeah, there's always shit at maths. Yeah.
But you know what? I was thinking about it. Like, I mean, stuff like that really bugs me. But you know what bugs me as well? And when you're on a bus, I was in London at the weekend and I was on a bus, right? And I'm gonna. This is what happened on a bus, right? So I'm in London at the weekend, and you're a bus driver, and obviously you don't interact with the customers.
That's true.
So this is what happened. There's somebody on their phone on the bus, and they're doing this, right? No earphones.
Oh, they're playing tunes.
Right, no earphones, right? They're just doing this, right, on the bus, right? They're just sitting there on the bus, just playing music like that. And everyone's listening to the song. Now, it's a good song, it's Sam Fender, right? Something like this. And I'm sitting next to them, thinking, again, this is another issue in society, right?
Yeah, this is public space.
Have you got your phone there?
I do.
Right, put some music on your phone. And this is what I did on the bus in London.
Oh, really? The two of yous?
No, so basically...
You're trying to fight fire with fire?
And I just... So it was a guy, he was one of those, you know, I'm sure he's a nice fella, but, you know, a bit like wide about town, like yips, you know what I'm saying, innit? Right, so say he's doing that in the bus, right? And I just hear that and I just do this. I just played my own music. And then I shot myself after about 5 seconds and I turned it off. Because I was like, he's going to kill me.
I was going to say we should turn it off.
I actually did that and pretended my earphones weren't connected to my Bluetooth and I nearly apologised to him.
I'm waiting for...
So he's played, but I was so scared.
I'm waiting for the copyright strike on the YouTube video. What means tuck down? You played more than 6 seconds of the song.
Copyright, you know.
Grand.
But yeah, it annoys me, man.
Headphones are a fiver.
I know I have them, but what I'm saying is I had my headphones in.
Yeah.
He was playing his music. I played mine out loud, and then I realised, oh my God, this is confrontational. So I just pressed stop on mine, and then I reconnected him, and then I nearly looked at him and go, oh, sorry for playing it out loud, even though he's still playing his fucking music out loud.
Andrew, if you don't like conversation or confrontation, you're probably in the wrong part of the world.
I know, but there's no confrontation up here. But like, I just feel like there's certain things that happen. Very like in London, I don't know, you know, you go through the tube stop. There's a lot of people that jump in behind you, you know, to go through it, right? And
we used to do that in the toll road going to Dublin.
There you go. But I was coming out of St. Pancras one day and I had a bag on my back. I was coming down from Angel and I went through the barrier, tapped my contactless card, and this guy right up behind me. But I could feel him right behind me because I had a bag on. So I turned round and I was like, whoa, because I thought he was putting his hand in my bag.
Yeah.
I thought he was like trying to rob my laptop or something like that. Anyway, I got through and he came up to me and he went, excuse me. He says, you've no right to have a go at me following you through the barrier. He said, I get in trouble, not you, if I get caught dodging a ticket. And I just went to him, man, you were right up against my bag. You were stealing my bag. And then he went, you can't do that, man. Don't do that again. And I just went, all right, yeah, sorry, and walked off.
Oh, Andrew.
Because I didn't know what he was going to do. He was going to whip out a knife or something. You see
Listen
the
to me.
news? I apologised to a guy for having a go at him for skipping a barrier.
Are you Canadian?
I was just like, what?
Just apologising for nothing.
And I think since COVID, then I've totally changed now. I'm starting to say shit, Darren.
Are you?
I'm starting to say shit to people, mate. In a very
You MC gigs, you have to be confrontational sometimes.
I'm not confrontational. I'm MCing the.
But you're like off stage. You're like, no, I'm not like that at all.
Oh, like so. I was in a coffee shop, and there was a woman in a coffee shop, and she ordered her coffee, and then had a full frank conversation with the barista, and I'm standing there behind her.
Were you the next man?
I was next, and the barista hadn't even started making the coffee yet because they were having a conversation, and in my head, I could feel the fingers going like this conversation has to end.
Oh, I thought you meant like making a fist.
No, because like I'm like this guy, this has to end. She needs to move. I need to be served. I have no patience.
I'd say this is someone who worked at a coffee shop for years. You can do both. I
This
can make a
barista-
coffee and chat and be like, yeah, no problem.
This barista couldn't bloody multitask.
just stood there. What are you up to?
Yeah.
That person's a
Like,
dickhead.
and it was
They're
annoying
both
me.
dickheads. That's a double whammy of dickheads.
I've gone into coffee shops, and if there's 2 or 3 in the queue, I have to leave because I don't have the patience to wait. You know the coffee I bought you today?
Yeah.
If there was more than 2 in the queue, I wasn't going to buy it.
Was that just a wee machine?
I just can't. I don't know. I think I have a medical condition. I think
No,
I'm
you're
getting ill
the
or
same as me.
something.
You're just getting older and grumpier. That's
Fine.
fine.
No, it's not that. It's just I have a lot of patience with certain things, but the general public buying simple things
Yeah.
people are taking too long doing it. Like they go in, they feel like they need to have conversations and stuff. Like, you go in, you put your thing down, buy it, get the fuck out of the shop.
Is this everybody though hasn't been able to speak to anyone for 2 years and now they want to fucking talk to everybody?
Listen, me not speaking to people for 2 years was actually really good for me because it made me realise I've dropped friends. Have you ever dropped friends?
I've dropped a few friends.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel liberated.
Yeah. Well, I mean, there's people that are a pain in the arse or just not making your life any better.
I genuinely believe
Away.
since COVID, it has made me realise the value of certain people in my life. Like when I say I've dropped friends, I've not sent you a message going, you're dropped.
No, I get that.
You're gone from the A team.
Yeah, you can just you're no longer in my Bebo top 16.
You're not my Bebo, yeah.
That's fine.
What I've done is I've removed them from the friendship circle and I've put them on a subs bench.
Fair enough. In case.
Yeah, well, like let me get you this. I only go to weddings that I believe that the marriage is going to last.
What, so you're gambling on this one?
Yes. No. So no, like for example, like I've been invited to weddings in the past, right?
I think is it something like 1 and 3 or 2 and 3? You don't
Yeah.
get past so many
So
years.
I've got 2 weddings this year.
Fair.
I'm pretty confident with these people.
Fair enough.
Right? But I've been invited to another wedding.
Fuck, I hope they're not watching this.
You've been dropped.
No, not
Don't
those
matter.
people. I mean the people that you're just like, I think they might stay
No,
married.
I've dropped them.
Oh, you got rid of them?
Yeah, fuck you.
Fair enough. That's
I'm
great.
not going to a wedding because I don't think it's going to work. Because I've seen enough. Yeah, what are you going to do about it? What are you going to do about it? You're going to do nothing.
Andrew's
Anyway.
slowly losing his mind.
I think I need to go back to see my therapist again.
Yeah. I just do stand up. I don't know what your fucking issue is.
Do you know what? I'm just having a bit of crack today, just talking shit. Like, do you know, just like we're just gonna have a bit of crack today, lads.
I feel like we don't.
But
have
how
any-
do you drop a friend?
How do you drop them?
It's difficult to drop a friend, isn't it? And someone that you have been friends with, you go, you know what? You're not good for me.
My older brother stopped drinking and then realised that he probably didn't actually like 80% of the people that he associated
There
with.
you go. Because
they were
they were enablers.
They were enablers. They were all the same, and they were all just drinking together. And then once you're all sober, you're like, oh, you're actually no crack at all.
Yeah. Yeah.
You're
and-
not good crack. I'm just steaming, and I don't fucking notice.
Exactly, yeah.
So he stopped drinking, and now his good friends are his actual good friends.
Yeah.
And he got rid of loads of fucking idiots.
I have about 5 friends.
I am still best friends with the 4 guys I went to school with.
Great.
We are like a fucking team.
Well, the friends that you have since the age of 12 will always be,
Yes.
you know, like,
And younger.
There's a comedian called Alan Cochrane. He's got this great joke where he says, like, you make friends with people when you're like 12, 13, and then you get to your 45 and you look at them and you're like, I can't believe you're the ones I've picked. Because, like, if you're friends with someone from the age of 12 and you get to like 35, you can't just suddenly wake up and go, oh, all the best, man. We're not friends anymore. You kind of like go, I've picked you, and we're too far in this now for me to drop you.
Well, see, I was lucky enough where because I emigrated a couple of times. Whenever I came back, you just don't reconnect. They're probably still on my Facebook, but you're just like, you're there.
Yeah,
whatever.
I got rid of a couple of people, and how do you know when to get rid of people? This is how I know. I scrolled through loads of WhatsApp messages, and I realised that I was initiating all the conversations.
That's annoying.
I was the one going, hey man, how are you getting on? How's life? and they would reply, yeah, life is pretty cool, just busy at work, great. 3 weeks later, hey man, listen, I'm around next week if you fancy a coffee and a catch up. And they reply, yeah, flat out this week. And I go, well, I'm making an effort, you're not making an effort back, we're done.
I learned this great one off somebody that they say when they were coming home. So what I used to land home from Australia and try and fucking see everybody and use up all my own free time.
Not anymore.
And you're jet lagged a bit. One of my mates says to me, he was like, when I go home, he says, I send the people I want to see a message and I say, I will be in this bar at this time on this date. If you want to see me, come on.
It's like your own wake, isn't it?
It's fucking great though, because I've done that where I'm coming home and a mate lives in like a next town and I go, hey, I'll call her for a cup of tea, and they're like, oh, I'm kind of busy. I'm like, I flew from fucking Australia. You will put the kettle on and I will be there.
I've had enough of it, man.
Yeah, but people are just like, no, I'm here. You fucking come see me.
Yeah.
Fuck you.
Yeah.
I'm the one travelling.
Like, I've got friends of mine, like when I used to go to Cork, do exactly the same thing. I used to meet up with just 3 or 4 friends.
Yeah.
And that was it.
And have a great time.
And have a great time. We used to go to the pub and everyone would make time when you're home. And then I go, right, this is my crew. This is my stable. These are the people that I'm going to be with. And then there's people, then I just go, you know what? And I understand people have busy lives. And I understand people have kids and houses and jobs and the stress of modern life.
Selfish,
and all that kind
very
of stuff.
selfish people.
But you know what? A 30-second voice note, like when I had some crises in my life when my mum died, like I knew, like, you know, so many people
This is
messaged
dark,
me.
Jesus Christ.
So many people messaged me, but then there was some people that I never heard from. And then you turn up in their town to do a gig and they're like, oh, we must meet up. And I'm like, no, you're all right, man.
We won't use names, but you showed me an example of this a few weeks ago. Where you're like, I haven't heard from this person in fucking years. And then they hit you up looking for something.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, hang on now.
Yeah. It takes 2 seconds just to be like, just check in. Hey man, not seen you for a while. Hope life is good. Let's catch up soon.
Yeah.
But when I was initiating all the conversations, I went, what value did this person bring to my life anyway? If anything, they cost me money.
Do you think it's like a brand loyalty thing you're doing?
Yeah,
because you've known them since you're fucking 10.
I like to think of quite to my friends, my real friends, like people I've been groomsmen for, like, and stuff like that. People that I know that when there's in a crisis that I'll get in the car and I will drive. Like, you know, you have friends where like if shit hits the fan, I've got about 3 or 4 people that I know will drive 3 hours to come and help me. I know those people that will do that for me because I would do that for them, and I have done it for some people. But there's people then when it's like shit hits the fan, or kind of stuff like that, where I've had a few examples now where I didn't drink for 15 months once, and about 3 or 4 people I never heard from because there was no point in inviting Andrew.
Was this court appointed or?
No, I just gave up. I did the pledge. You know the pledge.
Oh, okay.
I did the pledge. I took the pledge for 12 months and I enjoyed it.
Pioneer.
Pioneer for 12 months. Yeah, I did it in 2015, 16. I ended up doing 15 months, and you know what, it was really good for clarity in my head, but I was dying to get back on it. Like,
I know a gentleman who's been a pioneer all his life, and he was a barman for 6 years. And I was like, how are you a pioneer if you work in a bar? He's like, because I worked in a bar.
Yeah.
And I was like, no.
Yeah.
I don't want to be any of these fuckers.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. So I did it, and I realised then very quickly like who my friends were, and ever since then I've been kind of like I've got friends in Manchester, London, Dublin, Cork, Belfast, and I'm happy with that.
It's enough people, and people spread out as well.
Yeah, and I've got friends of mine like who I really, really enjoy their company with, and I, you know, will like to make an effort for them. And if I say to them like, look, if you ever come into Belfast for a weekend and you want someone to stay for free, stay in my house. If you want to come with your husband, your kids, whatever, I'll go away for the weekend and you can have the house to yourselves, you know, like, because if I'm over in England, sometimes people put me up for the night and stuff like that. Like, and I always try to repay it. And I say, if you ever want to come to a show, even if I'm not on, let me know. I'll message the promoter. I'm good friends. I'll get you some tickets.
No problem.
And that's what friendship is.
Yeah, that's nice.
Do you know
that's
what
just
I mean?
being a good dude.
That's just being like decent. But then there's people out there that's like, oh, I've had people message me who haven't seen for a year and a half. Hey man, I want to go and see such a person at a gig. Can you get me tickets? Oh yeah, like I've got McIntyre's telephone number. Just because like I'm a comedian, he's a comedian, but I haven't heard from you. And then I scroll through the messages. You're asking me for tickets for the fucking Six Nations.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, when the only time you message me when you want something.
You're
Sick of it, Darren.
Six Nations tickets. I can get €500 for these on the street.
So I just think 2022 has been a good year for me in terms of learning who my core is. What about you? Do you feel that? Do you feel that because you do you feel you have your core?
Oh yeah, I've been very comfortable with that. Even when I was away for years and years, my best mates are still the 4 guys from home.
Yeah,
that's it.
But I think,
and then I've a great friendship group here in Belfast and great comedians that you meet up with socially outside of the work environment.
Yeah,
which is nice. It's just good.
Yeah, you have acquaintances.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I've got so many acquaintances and I love them because I know that our relationship is for that moment in time until the next time I see that person. So, for example, loads of comedians, you know yourself, right? Like, for example, there's a comedian in Scotland, brilliant comic called Mark Nelson.
Yes.
Me and Mark would be really good mates. But we don't communicate outside of when we're not working together. But I know that when I'm working with Mark, we're going to have a great time. We're going to go for a pint. We might go for lunch. We chat. We hang out. And then at the end of the weekend, we send each other a little message. Mate, great weekend working with you in Brighton or Birmingham, wherever we were. And look forward to seeing you again. I mightn't see Mark for 3 more months. But I would consider Mark a really good friend acquaintance. That we get on really well. But yet that we understand our role with each other. Like when I get married, will Mark come to my wedding? I'm not too sure. If he gets married, will I go to his wedding? I'm not too sure. But we understand the boundary. I know Mark is actually married, so if his wife is watching, I know you're married. But that's my point. Do you see how that kind of works? See how it works?
Yeah, well, it's that where you talk about. So I'm on the podcast today. I've done this before. I've seen you at gigs, and then we went for a couple of pints one evening.
Brilliant night.
And that was grand.
Yeah, but I consider you a friend of mine.
I'll see you in a couple of weeks.
But I would consider you a friend of mine.
Yeah. Because you're up here and just like, let's get pints.
Yeah, so we go for pints. Like, so I mightn't see you for a month, but I know that we can always message each other and go, let's go for pints next week.
Yes.
But that's what I'm trying to say is like...
They were lovely pints.
Oh, we went to Madden's.
Oh, Christ.
I'd never been to a pub before where you have to press a buzzer to get in. And I was like to Darren, I said, why do we have to press a buzzer to get in? You looked at me and you go, what do you think?
Yeah. It's the keep out the riffraff, so I'm surprised they let us in, to be fair.
Yeah, it was great, wasn't it? Some pints again.
Tasty pints. And then, we did a wee miniature. Yeah, tasty pints of Beamish.
Yeah, and it's great living up here because like I find I know it sounds really strange, but I find the quality of people in Northern Ireland are really good in terms of getting to know. I think I like the quality of Northern Irish people. There's good character about Northern Irish people.
Yeah.
I like that. Like, I know that I can reach out to somebody in Northern Ireland and I know I'll get a good response if I need help with something or I'm worried about something or anything like that. I just find there's a great character here. And I like that about Northern Irish people.
Just sound folks.
Sound folks. And it doesn't matter where you're from in Northern Ireland or what your background is. I don't really care. But people I really like the energy they give. I really like the energy Northern Irish people give.
Yeah, I mean, when we talked about before of the entire country having PTSD, now when people want to be friends, we're like, let's just fucking talk to everybody.
It's brilliant.
Yeah.
I really like it. My brother came up here for a weekend and he was really surprised. Loved it.
But Belfast, where you live, has the advantage of being what's decided as a city with all of the modern conveniences, but it's not massive. So you can make friends and talk to people. I like visiting London, but I could not live there. I can't deal with, excuse me, could you... And why are you speaking to me?
But there's parts
that's weird as fuck.
There's parts of that in London that I love. I love the bluntness of it. I love the sort of passive aggressiveness of it.
Yeah,
I like that because
London's a good place for being anonymous. Just float about.
Yeah, but you can do anything in London. But in Belfast, it's a bit like you kind of have to have a little bit more about you in terms of friendliness here to get on as well. You know, but it's crazy, isn't it? Brilliant.
Well, just in different terms of when you're other places, because. One of my good mates, one of the guys I was telling you about, when he first moved to London to do his teacher training, he said it was weird as fuck because we come from a little village, and when you're walking down the street in the village, you'd be like, hey man, anybody you see, morning, complete stranger, hiya. He was doing that in London. People were like, who the fuck?
Yeah.
Who's this mental kiss?
Yeah, exactly. I know. Yeah, but that's just people in London are just like they've got an hour and a half commute in the mornings. They're busy, man.
Yeah,
shit to do. You know.
Tube's weird. It's like deathly silent headphones, and you're just standing there with your friends, like, what the fuck is going? Yeah, they don't speak to each other.
I know, it's crazy. But listen, Darren, we chatted some shit today, but it was great. I love it.
If there's one thing I can do, it's chat shit.
Chat shit. Darren, thanks for coming on again, and good luck driving the buses. We'll get you on it and get you back on. Really, really good for you to pop back in again and catch up with you.
Well, I can promote stuff now, can't I?
Of course.
Brilliant. Sunflower Comedy Club, last Sunday of every month, and Panic Station Comedy Club in Newry, which is the last Saturday of every month. Check it out online.
I'm doing the 27th as well at the end of March.
You are indeed. Follow me on Instagram.
Yeah. Give it up for Darren Matthews. Darren, thank you so much. He's been on Cork now a second time. Returning guest for a second one ever. Oh my God. Things are getting amazing. Things go away.
One clap.